Let me pull it up over here. Going to all products. If you guys want to front run me, feel free to do so. I won't be mad about it while this tries to load up. Yes, Big West, this one is a $500 challenge trade for next week. In case you're doing this in a separate account like I am, and I am going with the 66, the right at the money call. So right now, the mid on that is around 63 cents. It will, Tasty won't be so slow on me. There we go. Up now it's 72 cents. 62 cents, I mean, sorry. Okay, putting it in at 62. Maybe I should have just left it at 63 so I wouldn't have to redo this. And I have nothing wrong with everything being in the same account. Though I will say, and we saw this last week when Tasty had their issue, it is nice to have more than one brokerage platform, because if something happens and you really see a trade set up you want to take advantage of, it's nice to have a backup to go to. So that one filled 62 cents, guys. Let me send out that alert. And then we'll look at some of these other trade ideas we are eyeing, but this one will be for the $500 challenge account. Let me pull that up over here. So once again, the thought on MO is it already has a valid bullish divergent bar on the weekly chart. We have one as well trying to form for this week. A beautiful job of holding the 30 period simple. Great work at doing that. Bollinger Bands still remain flat. Now, part of me wishes we kind of got into this yesterday because we did have that bullish divergent bar. But you can see not much of a reaction today, so I don't really feel like we're late or anything to the setup. Great squeeze. Nice reset on momentum. And then 67.71, I think I mentioned as that target. Let me close out this in my futures account really quickly. Hopefully that will help some on the speed. Or it could just be Thinkorswim being slow. That's not out of the question. 67.71 is that target. So if it can get up to there, great. And if it can't, it's a low risk trade for the account. It's not necessarily like we're even looking for this to break higher with the squeeze setup itself, though if it does, that's part of the reason I want it to go with the long call. But if all it does is touch the top end of the range, our trade should be profitable to work out. And we do have the slight benefit of the Fed next week. More than likely, they're going to cut rates, right? That's been priced into Fed futures. So if they do manage to cut the rates, and for whatever reason it's not priced in already and the market has a bounce, MO might want to decide to trade with it, and that could help be the catalyst to reach our target there for this setup. So that is what I'm looking at on this as of right now. So let's go back to DKNG, because DraftKings I still thought looked kind of interesting. Now it's continuing to move lower. Maybe that's a clue we try and wait on this tomorrow. It has an 8.5 out of 10 follow through rate, so may not get the bounce. But it makes for kind of a cheap trade idea, certainly. Let me pull up my Tasty here really quickly, because I know we were pricing this out earlier. So what was our target? 46.79. 35 cents. If it does get back up into that range, we know this will be in the money. Could go a bit higher. I kind of like the idea, though, of keeping it cheaper like this. Because one, we should still have some extrinsic value on this. It is ideally, if the follow through happens, we're looking for it by tomorrow. So should maybe get a little bit better of a profit than what we're seeing here at the moment in regards of risk versus reward. But from an intrinsic point of view, would certainly still be profitable overall. And if it doesn't, it's a small risk for the account. It's certainly not anything we couldn't do or handle. So I might take this one as well, guys. How's PLTR also looking into the close? Is that holding up well? I know we're limited on time here. Yes. Okay, I think out of the two, I prefer PLTR. So let me get this one set up, and then if I have a chance, I'll jump into DKNG as well. PLTR, this will be for the monthly expiration next week. And happy to go over those in a second, Ivan. And then Trader G, the challenge is just about teaching how to manage risk accordingly with a very small amount of capital. It's something I've done, in the past. I haven't, to date, we're profitable on the strategies. It's not necessarily about like always getting a double or anything like that. It's trying to teach proper risk versus reward for people maybe just starting, or those of us with a smaller, pocket purse to be able to trade with. Because in my opinion, and what I have found over the years of teaching, is if you can teach somebody to be that mindful of risk tolerance in a small account, it's easier to grow into larger accounts as well. So PLTR is starting to get a nice move higher, back above the 30 SMA, holding it as support with recent daily true lows, looking for a bounce back into 180 or higher. Went out to next week to give this a little time, but with an out of the money butterfly to keep capital costs low. And then, as always, do what you think is best. Wow, Skydiver Jim, is that real? Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck by a high-powered rifle and not expected to live? My God. Okay, let me let me jump into this. Jesus. And you can see I don't watch the news very often, do I? Let's see. 135, guys. I instantly got that fill for the butterfly, the 172.50, 180, 182.50. So 7.5, 2.5 with spread on that. And then Ram, absolutely not. I like to post that it's specifically a challenge trade, because sometimes on those, like we saw with, what was it, XOM, it was a very small risk, right, of 25 cents. That's not a lot. So sometimes people will be like, Allison, what are we doing? And so I like to just explain in the alert, like, hey, this is a challenge trade. That's part of the reason why the cost might look cheaper and everything else. But no, you can absolutely do it in your own account. I keep it separate for tracking purposes for, work and everything else. Okay. So like that for PLTR. Yes. Rushlip, absolutely. For MO, if I close that out, I will let y'all know. Now on the trade I just opened in PLTR, no, that will be alerted to the small bot room. But any challenge trade I open and close, that will be put on socials, talked about here on Twitch, absolutely. It was a nice double on XOM, wasn't it? I hope some of you guys held on at least a little bit that day because it got close to target. I don't think it ever quite met, but nice follow through. Do I have April? Oh my gosh. No, that's September. See, and this is where those automated alerts would really be beneficial for me. No, I was modifying an old alert, guys. September. Next week. Thank you for fixing that, y'all. Wayne, you thought you were going to copy paste it? Yeah, let's just go back in time. We'll always be 100% winners that way. So there's the correction, y'all. Let's go to DKNG. See, that a part of me is like, well, that really kind of makes me want to move to Thinkorswim because Tasty, unfortunately, doesn't have the same setup that Thinkorswim does to allow for automated alerts for us on this end of the mic. What time is it? A little late. Well, guys, if you want to do it, you know what I like. This week's expiration, DKNG 46 call. It's currently at 40 cents, so it's moving back up a little bit. Market's trying to bounce up some into the close here. Forgot to look at that premium push play, but I'm sure that depending on the cost, probably is starting to work out nicely with the push higher. I wish it wasn't so close to the end of the day. Really like the DKNG one. What was the other one I talked about? That was Lotto. Oh yeah, NXTT. This one we could arguably do in the kids account. Let me set that up because you should still be able to buy the shares on this right after market close for those of you who want to. So I'll probably do 200 shares of this. This is a lotto play in the kids share account. This has seen spikes in the past. Has a valid weekly bull DB. Share cost is very inexpensive. So I am still keeping my risk small, but if we do get a pop, should allow for a nice profit potential. Shares don't have to worry about theta decay, right? We saw that with WLDS and that trade setup. Good reminder, right? Patience on shares can sometimes pay off when you get that kind of pop. So let me switch accounts. I'll do this in the kids share account. NXTT. It'd already be up a little bit if I had bought in at 16 earlier, but that's okay. It's right at 18,200. Oh, dang it. Wrong account. This is why I leave my day trades, guys. Let me opposite order. Just get out of this account for a scratch, hopefully. Okay. Let's try that again. I want to buy this 18,200, but in the kids account. There we go. Okay. So let me go over to that account. What was my exact fill? 1798. So let me put that in. 1798, 200 shares, $36. Not a big deal. Oh, and it is a call butterfly. Dang it. Thank you. Geez, clearly I should have caught that a bit more. Well, let's just copy. Correction. This is a call butterfly for next week. Once again, those automated alerts. I wouldn't have an issue because they would automatically be automated when I jump in. Thank you for the catch, y'all. Yeah, definitely should be calls. Just for reference, y'all, I usually do not do credit broken wing butterflies. It's not that they're viable. Bruce here at Simpler would be a great person to follow if that is one of your preferred strategies or something you want to learn about. But whenever I do broken wing butterflies, they will always be debit broken wing butterflies. So if you see it say that on the put side, right, and it's those strikes, probably not it. The difference with the put side is it's technically in the money, right? So you would have to arguably maybe worry about that early risk of assignment. Now, I've only had it ever assigned twice, but no, it's arguably the same risk, right? Same credit over here. If it starts to go out of the money, same max profit potential. So if you want to hold on to the put side, you can. But the only difference is that your put side's already in the money if they, did anything early on it. But like I said, personally, I've only had assignment twice in my trading experience. One was a very long time ago where it was an early assignment Thursday into a Friday of expiration on Chipotle. And in hindsight, I wish I had held on to those shares because that was like forever ago. Even with the pullback that it's had, it's like that would have made some nice money. And then the second time I've been assigned is when I held my SPY trade through because for some reason I don't trade SPY as often as I do SPX, and whatever I was thinking that day, I was like, yeah, cash settled. And no, definitely can hold shares on SPY. So I got assigned because I was being silly, user error, and then I, got out of them for a quick win when I realized my mistake. But technically speaking, no, same thought process on the trade idea. It's just the opposite, basically, of what I did in the sense that it's a technically a credit, right? And you're looking for it to move out of the money rather than in. And there's the close. So on today's pen, 65.3209. So if you had 65.30, or maybe if you had 65.35, you were able to squeak out a small profit there today, guys. As for the other trades we hold, jumped into MO. Already trying to look good into the close. So for those of you on Twitch, thank y'all so much for joining me. Hope you're able to follow along. As always, may the trade be with you, my fellow Jedis, and I look forward to talking to y'all next time. Bye.